Friday Loose Women Live, kickstarting your weekend in style. It's Kelly Brook, Judy Love, Jane Moore and me, Kay Adams. Still to come, as ASOS bans some customers because they return too many of their online orders, is it OK to penalise serial returners? And should companies charge for every online return to stop those cheeky shoppers? And as the creator of the dystopian television show Squid Game has spoken about the dark ending of its third and final series, do you always want a happy ending? Hello, Jeff.
Is that where I come in?
I'm hoping
exactly.
so. And you're here to tell us all about the competition, and it's a big one.
Yeah, I always like to bring good news.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's part of my job. Kel, you never guess what? One of our viewers is going to win £250,000. And literally call themselves a $250,000. And if you want that to be you, you've got to pick up the phone and get your entry. And also, we've got a bonus prize this week. So if you get your entry in by 3 p.m. today, which obviously isn't long, you can also win this, an incredible Ford camper van. It's worth over £80,000, everyone. It sleeps for... Now, I've got one of these, and the memories that I've made, honestly, will last forever.
We don't hear about those,
No, it's nothing to do with happy endings. But, yeah, bike on the back, golf clubs in there, and I go off to the coast, and it's just a beautiful thing. So, guys, if you would like to win £250,000 and if you'd like to win the camper van that's worth over 80 as well, it's a prize package worth over £330,000.
Wow.
All you've got to do is get your entry in, and here are the details. Good luck. For another chance to win, text WIN to 80118. Text costs £2.50 plus one standard network rate message. Go to the website, entries cost £2.50. Call 090 112 09118. Calls cost £2.50 plus your network access charge. Or post your name and phone number to Bonus 26, PO Box 7558, Derby, DE10NQ. Entrance must be 18 or over. Lines close on Friday the 11th of July at 3 p.m. Bonus prize lines close today, so get those entries in now. We may be calling the winners live between 7:30 and 1:30 after all entry routes close. Good luck.
Now, today's guest is the entrepreneur Justine Roberts, who 25 years ago created the UK's biggest online platform for parents, Mumsnet. Back in 2000, frustrated by the lack of reliable advice for parents, Mum Justine Roberts launched one of the UK's most influential online communities, Mumsnet. What began as a tip-swapping forum for parents grew into a huge online network, reaching around 9 million users. And plenty of high-profile figures too, from politicians to pop stars, and even, apparently, royalty. Today, it continues to be a safe place for advice and support on marriage, menopause, politics, punamis, friendship and fears, and everything in between. And as it celebrates its 25th anniversary, Justine, now a mum of 4, remains the driving force behind this ever-growing enterprise. Please welcome Justine Roberts. Hi, Justine. It's lovely to have you here, but could you first clarify to Judy what a punami is? Because she's getting confused.
I really want to know because, you know, I hope you've eaten your breakfast.
Yes, yeah.
A punami is when a baby's nappy explodes with the volume of...
I thought so, yeah, of stuff, yeah.
It's not what Judy was
No,
thinking.
I just heard, but I've had that. I've got two children, so yeah, we've all had that.
You know, my eldest daughter was born in 2002, so just 2 years after Mumsnet started. So, I mean, I kind of remember it from that perspective. 3 o'clock in the morning, colic, oh my goodness, who the heck, you know, where can I get some advice? And of course, you know, very much that platform.
Yes.
And that's kind of why you set it up, wasn't it?
It was. I mean, I think...
Not for me personally.
Back then, well, way back then, I mean, it was for me personally. I had these twins and I didn't really know where to get advice. And, you know, I had my antenatal group and I had my mum, but things had changed. And then you had these kind of weird books written by doctors mainly, who didn't really empathise. So it was, what you wanted was a range of different experiences and someone who'd really been there and done that and had the exact same problem. And the internet had just started, and it seemed a great way to tap into people.
Yeah, you really rode a wave, didn't you? But it was like when you were sitting on your sun lounger that time thinking, I've booked the wrong holiday. If I'd had someone I could talk to, they might have advised me. Did you have any idea at that point about quite how successful it was going to be?
No. I mean, I was in a point in my life where I had an opportunity to take a risk. And I thought there was probably a 1 in 1,000 chance of me being there a year later, let alone 25 years later. So, yeah.
And it is, I mean, we're saying, 9 million engagements. I mean, it's absolutely phenomenal. But obviously with great success often comes great responsibility. And, like, over the years with certain things, do you sort of feel the weight of that? Because the anonymity is great in many ways because people can tell their darkest secrets openly, but also with anonymity you sometimes get some less pleasant people. How have you managed to stay away from that in a way that, say, somebody like Tattle Life hasn't?
Yes, well, we moderate, and we moderate according to our values.
That's expensive, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's always been worth it, I think. We want to keep it reasonably civil. I mean, it's helped, to be honest. 90% of our users are women, and I do think that's one of the reasons it's one of the nicer places on the internet. But we also have given our moderators the ability to say, look, if this isn't making anyone's life easier, you can take it down.
Yes.
And you can ban these people. You don't have to have broken the letter of the law.
Yeah.
So it's about wanting to keep a civil place and a civil place for conversation.
It's a real community, isn't it? Because a lot of my friends, when they have children, they just talk about how isolated it is, how lonely they are, they lose their identity, and all of a sudden there's a whole community of women that are going through exactly the same thing.
Yes.
And some of them get absolutely addicted to it and have even asked you to, like, cancel their accounts because they're on it too much.
Yeah, no, we've had to ban people through request. But it's
Through request?
It's actually a load of sub-communities, because there's a forum about chicken keepers on Mumsnet. There's a forum...
That's my favourite.
She started it.
People love that forum. People love that forum. So there's all kinds of sub-communities in there. But the main thing is it's people connecting. Sometimes you're able to say things they really couldn't say on Facebook or in real life or on Instagram because they're anonymous, so they can speak the truth. And they get real value from that.
Was it, when you first started, obviously it's called like Mumsnet, was it predominantly for women, or when did you see that the demographic started to change, over the years, where you said you've got about 90% men?
I mean,
as well?
we called it Mumsnet by parents for parents,
right.
Only because we thought of ParentsNet. I mean, I just thought it sounded really boring.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
It's not sharp enough,
It's
is
not
it?
sharp enough. So, but actually, I think part of its value is the fact it is a place for women. There aren't many places on the internet which are kind of dominated by female voices, and I think people find a lot of value in that, so I'm glad.
Where did the
we call it
language
Mumsnet.
come from? I mean, it's, well, AIBU, am I being unreasonable? I mean, that's spilled out beyond your site, hasn't it?
Yeah.
LTB, would you like to tell people what that is?
So this is often used when someone complains that, for instance, their partner, husband, has left the towels on the bathroom floor again, and then there is a volley of people saying LTB, which means leave the bath.
Oh, well, and of course... and I was really hoping you wouldn't use that last word.
Sorry.
And actually, what Justine said was leave the naughty boy. I apologise for that. I led you into that. That was my fault. That was totally my
I thought
fault.
you were opening the door.
My fault. And what are some of the most memorable threads then?
I think the funny ones are the ones that stick with me.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, it's the bizarre bits of human life. So there was one the other day where a woman said, I'm on a train and a woman's just walked in holding a penguin. What do I do? I mean...
Sorry, I got so scared you was going to say something else.
That's the other famous phrase.
Oh, really?
What was that?
They were holding something else. Just leave it out.
I'm already in trouble.
So she was holding a penguin.
She's holding a penguin, and what do you say to that? And then it unfolds all the story of why the penguin's there and what she's doing with the penguin, and is the penguin dangerous? And should she? Anyway, things like that. There was a husband who went into the fridge and ate what he thought was an artisan snack, but it was actually a fat ball for the birds.
Oh wow!
No.
And he loved it apparently.
And we're laughing there about obviously LTB and leaving towels on the floor. But then there's also a whole other poignant thing, isn't there, where, in a way, Mumsnet has rescued people from domestic abuse situations.
Yeah,
by-
we reckon about 1,000 women a year are helped out of domestic abuse situations on Mumsnet because it's anonymous. They can go there. They're not feeling they can be identified or stalked, and they can explore. You know, often they start with, "I'm being told what to wear. I'm being told, you know, what to do with my money," and gently they're led to the idea, "Oh no, I'm in a coercive."
Because other people are saying, actually, I was in a situation like that, and that's not normal.
Yes, and you know, here's how you can get some help. So really practical help. So yeah, there's so many of those conversations going on.
And that must still warm your heart after all these years.
Yeah, I mean, for me, that's the bit that you know, I every day I think, wow, people go out of their way to handheld people through really difficult conversations, sometimes in the middle of the night, and that gives you real faith in humanity.
Yeah.
Well, you built a platform for people to feel that they can not be judged but be heard. So that's amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Justine, thank you very much indeed. Thanks for joining us. Lots more still to come. Is it time to charge for all online returns to stop cheeky shoppers going too far with their orders? I bet that's the thread you've got. And are you a sucker for a happy ending? Don't go anywhere.